Loud noise.
Yay!
Loud noises!
I spiked it! Oh shit!
Oh, like we've never spiked this camera. It's like we never spiked the audio.
Oh, you should. Do you remember the complaints back in the day?
Oh, I think
from Tyler and Manny. Like, you're gonna spike the audio. So what? It's my editing, not yours. I have to fix it. You don't.
I remember the one time when I first joined, and you and I spiked the audio for a good, just little clip.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it was just completely spiked all the way through. It
was
the first
Manny
time.
there for that?
Yes.
Yes, he was, because it was the first time I ever saw that we spiked the camera, because we all got excited.
Not the camera. Not the camera.
No, not the camera.
What?
The mic.
No.
We got so excited, we spiked the mic, and it was the first time I ever saw us spike it, and I was like, holy shit, we spiked the mic! How did this happen?
I don't know. I just imagine if you spike the camera, you're just like serving it up like a volleyball and just boof!
It's football. You gotta do the dance where it's like, and you just throw it on the ground like, shit!
Excessive celebrating up, and there's the flag! McCringleberry.
Did love McCringleberry.
So, yeah, no Chris today if you guys hadn't noticed, but I don't think you would notice anyway because he's just
He
there.
does tend to be a bit quiet.
No, not last time. The first one we put up, he was all just like playing on his Switch and being real quiet in the background, just like, I'm paying attention. You're not saying anything. Do I need to?
Yes,
Chris.
Yes, you do, child.
This is called interaction.
It's called family community. It's called being a friend.
Why don't you do me a friend? Golden Girls.
It's called, basic human interaction.
But which one of us is B. Arthur? That's the question.
That's a good question. That is a legitimate good question.
And which one of us is badass grandma?
That's a hard question.
Mm-hmm.
I go Katrina's badass.
Dibs on badass grandma. Dibs on badass grandma.
Damn you.
One of you guys could be B. Arthur. Chris could be the dopey one. The comic relief one. Just like...
Wouldn't that technically... Are we talking the Betty White character?
Yes. The Betty White character.
I don't know.
The one who was a complete and absolute airhead.
Either airhead or just, the... I don't know. Would you call her the pure one, the innocent one?
No, it's Betty White. I'm sorry. No, you can't.
None of them were innocent. That was the thing about the Golden Girls. None of them were innocent. They were all sluts. Even the old one.
Which makes that just horrifying.
It makes it all worse.
Ethel D. something or the other. I don't remember what her name was.
She was funny though. Who was the one with the deep ass voice?
I think that was Betty White, actually.
No, Betty White had a
Betty White.
voice.
It was I know what you're talking about because Robot Chicken makes fun of her.
Yeah.
It's like she has this she's the one who usually is like
with the smoker's voice that makes her sound almost mannish, but there's still that teeny weeny itty bitty bit of femininity to her.
Don't you worry about it, darling.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but again, slightly less raspy.
I don't know.
Alright, girls, let's tell our nastiest sex jokes.
Could you just imagine, the cast of Golden Girls being replaced with, other characters?
Oh, no.
It's like fucking B. Arthur's replaced with, Kermit the Frog.
Oh, no.
Hey, Ethel, Mom, what happened with my, vibrators?
Oh, God.
Kermit the Frog, Willem Dafoe. Because Willem Dafoe has to be in here because Willem Dafoe. He has to be in there.
No, here's the thing. It's not even like anything else. It's just Willem Dafoe. He's not playing the character. He's just there. And for some reason, he just, agreed to be in drag.
No,
it looks like he does in Boondock Saints.
He's that one chick. The one that we were just
he'd be like he was in Boondock Saints.
Where he dressed drag. No, the thing about it is that William Dafoe just walked in off... They don't even know where he came from. He just walked in one day in drag and just sat down and everyone just rolled with it. No one brought him in. He just was there.
The greatest thing I've ever seen William Dafoe do. Willem Dafoe, not William. Willem Dafoe. Is the scene in Boondock Saints where he's getting up off the tile floor to shoot the guy while in drag, and his mouth just goes in slow motion. You just see him and fire. Me and my friend Alex sat there and watched it what the fuck is he doing? We rewound that part a couple times to figure out what the fuck we were looking at.
See, for me...
Because then we tried to recreate it, and we're like, why would he make that motion with his lips and cheeks? At the very moment he was getting up Like, how ridiculous must it have been to record that segment with Willem Dafoe dressed as a woman, long wig.
Just straight drag. No, my favorite scene will always be from Willem Dafoe. It's still from Boondock Saints 1. And it's the one where he's with the gay guy and they're like, after sleeping with them. And he's like...
Oh, where he like slaps him. He's like, I just wanted to cuddle.
Yeah.
Don't be such a fag.
It's like he's sitting there, he leans out and he's like, what are you doing? I just want to cuddle. Fucking fag.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And it's like, for some reason, it's like...
Was it fucking fag or fucking queer?
No, fucking fag.
Okay.
Because it's one of the best things. It's like, Willem Dafoe is gay, but he's one of those gays where it's like, you know... He doesn't
like... There's a line, man.
Exactly.
Between woo and understandable. You just went woo territory real fast.
And that's why everyone loves Willem Dafoe.
Well, he kind of did that with the drag thing, too, where even he was like...
Take your typical, like, 90s male, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just, all you do is swap out his attraction for women for guys. Mm-hmm. Still typical 90s male, just likes guys. That's it. That's all there is to it. There's nothing flamboyant or extravagant about him. He's like, that's, when I look at that character, I'm like, see, this is understandably, you know, breaking stereotypes back in that day. Because he's like Joe Schmo.
Because you don't expect him to be gay until it starts showing up. You're like, oh wait, he's gay.
Yeah.
Because like they're like small little snippets of it where you're like, maybe, but then it's like as it comes, you're like, oh. That's why I still love him. That's why him showing up 2 was still my favorite.
I like that scene in the bar where he's sitting there smoking. And it's like, and the fucking bartender's like, whew, I can smell you. He's like, just pour the fucking drink, you queer.
Just
I'm like, God damn.
No fucks given.
No fucks given.
Not a single solitary one.
Kermit and Willem in drag. Who else we got? Who else would fit in this scenario? Hey, because there's like what? There's 4 of them.
There's 4 of them.
We got 2. We need 2 more. We got to fill out this cast.
Christopher Walken.
No, we already got Willem Dafoe. We need iconic characters, not just actors. Iconic characters. Like Kermit the Frog.
Okay.
Willem Dafoe is just the one regular person.
He's just the universal. No matter what he's playing,
he's just not playing a character. Just playing himself.
Well, because it's just Willem Dafoe. No matter what he's playing, it's just Willem Dafoe. It doesn't matter.
He's so secure in his masculinity, he can wear a dress. You know why? Because he's hung like a horse, literally. No, he is. Fucking hung.
Okay.
I'm trying to
he had like these things where he had to do nude shots for a movie here or there, but they didn't like show anything below the belt. And people who were on set were like, "Holy fuck!"
Damn.
That smile you see when he's doing shit, you're just like, I know what can bring a smile to my face.
I want Jack Nicholson's Joker because it's both quirky, but at the same time, it's like
It's mostly quirky.
Yeah,
like when you look at the different Jokers, you got Cesar Romero, who's full like batshit like comic relief.
Yeah.
You have Jack Nicholson, who's quirky, and you have Heath Ledger's, who is more dark sadistic, and then you have Jared Leto's, which
more like that kind of,
which was kind of trying to blend it a little bit.
He felt like he was trying to be the clown prince of crime boss kind of style that they were trying to go with, because that's what it seemed like the entire movie was like. It was like, oh man, I'm not gonna tell you anything. And then Joker was like, oh shit, it's the Joker. I'll tell you whatever. It's like he felt like the mob boss kind of guy.
Yeah, he felt like the Untouchables kind of crime boss one. That's what his was. And then you got Hamill's, who's the blend of all of them perfectly.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing about the Mark Hamill Joker is the way he was written, they couldn't go too far with him, so they couldn't go into the truly dark territory, but they pushed boundaries with some of the jokes they'd written. So essentially, he came out as a blend of comedic, dark, and crime boss all in one.
That reminds me. I actually learned something recently because of that.
Perfect Joker.
Yeah, that's why if anyone says, who's your favorite Joker? Mark Hamill. Well, it's understandable. But if anyone's like, oh, Heath Ledger's Joker was great.
It leans away.
For the live-action movies, sure.
Yeah. For the gritty live-action movies that decided to be super
just for live-action movies. Heath Ledger's performance was
exceptional. Oh, it was.
No, it literally drove him to madness.
Yeah.
That's why he committed suicide.
Yeah.
He locked himself in a motel room to get into the character. By the time he came out of there, he was a changed man, and if you went in, you'd see writing on the walls. The wallpaper was torn off.
Damn!
Was a mess.
He's one of those
the lights broken over.
Yeah, he was...
That's character acting. He committed.
He was one of the best guys to commit to that. But no, speaking of Mark Hamill Joker. It was the fact that I learned something recently, which is that X-23 is the Harley Quinn of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
She started in a TV show and then got into the comics.
Yeah, you mentioned that a while back when we were all just talking about things and shooting the shit or something.
Yeah. It's
Actually, I don't know if you mentioned that last podcast or not.
Yeah, no, if you watch
it, you did.
I may have mentioned it last podcast. If I did, then I apologize, but it's just one of those little snippets where it's like,
Stop moving around!
I'm not trying to! It happens!
Don't connect these podcasts. They can't know.
They can't know the secret formula! So we got Kermit the Frog, Willem Dafoe. I pitched Jack Nicholson's Joker. Who would be the fourth?
I don't know. It's Katrina's turn.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. You're putting this on me?
Yeah, you gotta pick the fourth for this golden girl.
We both kind of tweaked Willem Dafoe to be perfect for the situation, so yeah.
He's just there. No one questions it. No one argues with it. He's just
I'm gonna...
We're not even gonna assign them to which one they're supposed to replace. It's just they're there.
Exactly.
And they have to read the script as written.
I imagine more Willem Dafoe just ad-libbed everything. No one questions it.
Every time he gets out of bed or gets off a chair.
Exactly. That's his leaving scene.
Where his lips are just like...
This is for the most part an all-male cast, right?
No.
Just like iconic characters. I picked Kermit the Frog because it's a Muppet and a fucking sitcom about
older
women,
old ladies. Not just old ladies, but horny old ladies. Sluts.
Yeah.
Which makes it horrifying.
And then we pitched Willem Dafoe as just Willem Dafoe. He just walks on stage. Nobody knows where he came from.
Uh-huh.
And he's in drag.
And then
he's in drag.
Pitched,
just
and
no
then
one questions
pitched
it.
Then
I pitched Jack Nicholson's Joker as like just that quirky character.
And this is all filmed in front of a live
studio audience. That's poor studio audience sitting there going, "Where am I?"
Woo!
They're all strapped to the chairs. They can't get out. They got the fucking like clockwork orange headgear, prying their eyes open.
They're forced to laugh. Just.
I kind of have one, but do they have to be live action characters, or can they also be cartoon characters?
Who are you trying to pitch?
They have to be edited in post.
Who are you trying to pitch?
I was kind of thinking Aku from Samurai Jack.
It could work.
We could actually put we would just have the actor the voice actor just stand in for him as they edit him in later.
They just roll a piece of cardboard on wheels
with the freaking cut out of Aku.
They got like fucking like a pulley system set up so he just rolls from side to side so they have something to interact with and they just edit it in post.
Because he's made jokes like that. That's the thing. Like, he would kind of...
I am Aku, evil shape-shifting sorcerer. Where is the lemon loaf?
The meta.
I don't know. I feel like it'd be
I was
funny.
just having this interaction of Aku and Kermit the Frog with Willem Dafoe just pitching in every once in a while some random lines.
Hey, Aku, we just finished off the lemon loaf. I'm sorry, there's none left.
How dare you! I will rip open a portal through time.
Oh, God, not again.
This frog needs an enema.
That's what I mean. It's just,
and then you just see Willem Dafoe just like roll his eyes and get up from a stool and walk off set. And scene. That's it. There you go. We'll pitch this pilot. We'll get this series off the ground. This is
a hell of high water.
ABC, College Humor. Anyone, just come on, give us the money. We'll do it. We'll build this shit. Give us.
I will build a stage for this shit.
We keep it PG. We could probably get it on Cartoon Network.
Oh God!
Let's get this shit on Adult Swim, huh?
Oh, now see, Adult Swim would probably be better.
I'm still trying to think
make
of
all the nasty sex jokes.
See, I'm trying to think of like the meta of the director going, why would he get Willem Dafoe? We didn't get Willem Dafoe. Why is he here? He just walked in on stage, dressed in drag. Nobody's questioned it since. He just shows up every day in drag.
No, his wages are pantyhose, stockings, and wigs.
he just asked for a booth
you
full
don't
of
want
wigs.
money?
That's all. Yeah,
it's like his only line. He doesn't even have to do anything. He just walks on, sits on something, lays down, gets up, makes that noise, walks off. That's his part. He doesn't have to do jack dick.
Oh, God.
Getting Nicholson in, on the other hand, that might be a little more difficult.
It would be a little more difficult.
He's rather old now. It's going to be hard to reproduce that same young Joker look he had.
We got enough CGI. We could shave some years off of that.
You know what? We need someone who can reproduce that look. Let's get... What was his name? Nick Nolte's kid.
Oh,
the one from fucking Starship Troopers.
I know you're talking.
The one with the smile of a Clydesdale, that guy.
Oh, yeah, that guy. And then I want Michael Bay to direct this shit.
Oh,
dude,
God.
No. It cannot be Michael Bay.
Okay, here's why I say that. No, hear me out.
Hear me out. A little bit.
No, here's why I say that. Everyone gives shit to Transformers.
Exploding.
No, everyone gives shit to Transformers, but here's the reason why I actually think it could work. It's because Bad Boys logic. We Bad Boys this, where it's very much of the humor they play off each other. I feel like that's where Michael Bay works, is when it's something of like, it's this kind of joke within itself. It's stupid funny. Because if you give him something like...
He's too self-aware of his explosion fetish. We gotta draw the line.
Well, yeah, that's why, like, you can't do explosions in this show. I just want for him for the joke side, because he can actually do jokes and have the characters play off each other well.
They can probably make a couple of explosion jokes.
Let's get the writers for Bad Boys in on this. That would work better. That would work better.
Fine.
Yeah! The writers for Bad Boys, Kermit the Frog, Aku, the Shape-Shifting Sorcerer, fucking Jack Nicholson's Joker, and Willem Dafoe in drag. Do we need to say more? Come on! HBO, give us a spot!
Oh, God.
Game of Thrones is almost over. We can take that spot!
Geek and Sundry. Let's do this. We can make Twitch streams out of it. Let's go. Dude, you have no idea how many times I'm just like, God damn it, I want to be on one of these streams so bad. It'll never fucking happen, but god damn it, I can hope and dream someday. Or I can do what I've always had to do in these situations and make my fucking own.
Hey, you gotta go somewhere with it. Oh, God.
The problem is, most of the people I'd want for a sit-down session are either A, really hard to get a hold of for D&D, won't commit, or they moved out of state.
Yeah.
Tyler and Manny are two of the key ones right there, because they have some good shit. Sam, my buddy Sam, he would be the goofiest player of all time, and would bring way too much laughs. And I can't have Joe. I can't have my buddy Joe. He would tangent too much. We would never get the session started, and mid-session he would tangent, and it would never end.
Don't we tangent, though?
Yeah, but we've learned that you kind of wheel it back in after a while.
Well, I usually crack a whip, because I've learned that tangents can go on for hours if you let them, and I'm never letting that happen again.
Yeah.
I had a session that was like an 8-hour-long session. About 3 hours of it was tangent. They tangented so long, I went out for a few smoke breaks and came back.
And they were still
They were still
tangent.
Going. They came with me.
He was already absorbed into
the party doesn't stop.
Just because you go to smoke does not mean that train stops. That train keeps going and will run you over. Which means it's like a pizza just flying through space.
So, oh, God, don't bring that
just flying through space.
You're referencing something. I have no idea.
I've been watching, I watch Comic Story and I just subscribe to his Patreon. And he has a bunch of videos where he does, like, kind of them just kind of spitballing conspiracies and things like that and just having fun with it. And one of the first videos they talk about is Flat Earth. So, it's the concept. One of the arguments is that if the Earth was...
Y'all can't see his face, but Mike's making a very funny face right now.
It was like one of the arguments was the concept of that water would ripple. And it's like, what do you think this is? It's a plate on a stick, it's just going to wobble through, and it's like, oh no, if it's flat...
A flying death frisbee through space.
Is what the Earth is. Because it's like, if it's that flat, if that's fine, it's just going to slice through planets. So we're just going through the universe as a giant destructo disc cutting through worlds.
Here's my question. For the flat Earth theory, is it just a blunt, giant coin-like edge for us, or is it tapered to a fine point?
I say it's tapered to a fine point. They say that apparently that it's flat with the with an ice wall around it.
That's what the polar ice caps are, apparently.
But I would say it's more like, if you're going to say it's a flat Earth, I'd rather it be down to a fine razor edge, and that we're just a flying death disc through the galaxy.
How can people still believe that?
I have no idea.
We have fucking photographic proof.
By the government.
Oh, no, from civilian agencies, too. We have fucking pictures from foreign powers that have been to fucking space. This is not fucking new.
That's the thing, it's not a small thing. It's not like a small little, like, this is a subset. No. This is a surprisingly large community who believe in the flat Earth concept.
I have an idea. Let's take everybody who believes in this idea, put them in rockets with plenty of windows, launch them into space, and let them see for themselves before they run out of oxygen. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? The rocket impacts into something and blows up? Oh no! Space debris that'll burn up on re-entry with something.
Yeah.
What were some other ones that they were talking about? Because that was the one that's the one that always makes me laugh. Is just that because it's just like, what is this? It's a plane on a stick just floats through space.
Yeah, no, I'm shaking my head too, Mike.
There were so many that you just sit there.
Oh
no!
I don't want to live on this spheroid anymore.
Another one is that if the Earth was round, that planes would have difficulty taking off because there'd be over 500-mile-an-hour winds from the Earth's rotation. Which, instantly, they cracked a small joke about that, and it instantly discredited it, which is like, well, you can walk anywhere. And it's like, that's the problem! It's like,
yeah, now you understand. You wouldn't survive on this planet if it was a disc. God damn it, these people are fucking stupid.
But it's just,
that's what the ice walls are. They protect us from the winds beyond space.
Actually, it is the argument. I think I'm joking, I'm not. Don't look at me like that.
Mike took off his glasses to give Dimitri the teacher look. Just for all you interested in the look he's giving right now.
Try me, bitch.
I'll bust out these concepts, man.
No, don't. Please
don't. Please don't.
No, because if I hear any more of them, I'm going to go buy a plain white mask with brown hair slicked back, a boiler suit in blue, and grab gloves and a knife, and then start finding these people. And I will have earbuds in looping the Halloween theme. I will make them fear Michael.
I know I was cracking jokes about future generations of this shit, but it's like,
How the fuck can people still be this fucking stupid?
I don't
This shit got discredited fucking back before electricity got fucking invented.
Yep.
There are pages upon pages. You can just Google flat Earth, and you will find tons
of quote-unquote evidence.
These are the same motherfuckers like in that episode of Futurama where fucking Farnsworth disproved creationism or whatever, and he proved, like, evolution. And the fucking orangutan, who was basically a missing link in some way, shape, or form, who was trying to refute him at every step of the way, just pulled back a curtain and showed, like, a recreation of his discovery, riding a dinosaur, like, with something else, like, behold, creation! And people were like, yeah, I believe that. I'm like, oh my god.
Hey, idiocracy is the future, apparently.
Why can't we just go back to a whole Darwinistic society mentality and just kill off the weak? Why can't we be Spartan in nature and just kill off the weak at birth? If you don't make it back up that mountain, bitch, you dead.
The mountain's flat! The mountain's flat, sir!
Well, how come I can't see the ice wall from here? Huh? Well,
Hey, don't look at me. I'm not the one arguing to defend it.
Ugh.
Oh, it's because there's a slight curve to the disc. So it's not, flat. It's kind of like bowed.
No, that's the argument for the reason why the Earth is flat is the concept that you can always see the horizon. But the horizon just never moves, is the reason why they argue that.
The horizon never moves?
That the horizon is just a straight flat line. Whenever you get to a point, it's just that straight flat line.
So how do you explain then going by sea from one continent to the fucking next? How do they explain that bullshit?
Two things, depending on which style of flat Earth you go with. There's the flat Earth that the concept that it's a coin, so it's top bottom, or that literally just the Earth is flat, so it's just you're going in a giant circle, and that planes that fly over the edge just come back on the other side.
I'm sorry, what? Wait. You fly over the edge, you magically teleport to the other side.
Yes.
To quote something that we sometimes like quoting, I'm finding an inconsistency in everything you just fucking said.
No, there's some inconsistencies in this. Like everything you just fucking said.
Didn't I literally just say that?
You have to get to pause it. It's very just subtle.
Okay.
There are some inconsistencies here. Like every fucking thing you just said. Yes, no. These
Alright,
are,
we should stop. I'm starting to see brain matter leak out of Mike's ears.
No, it's not brain matter. It's liquid rage.
It's amazing.
It's probably
amazing.
still
I'm
not
sorry.
good.
It's amazing.
I'm not currently trying to wrap my head around the theory. I'm currently trying to figure out the best way to murder people in mass. Like maybe
It's simple. It's simple. It's simple.
Lock the doors and
Hold a flat Earth convention. There we are.
Mike, it's very simple.
Nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. I got you. I understand.
No. That's a hard and complex thing. All you have to do is
it's not.
Here, no,
Nuke, boom, dead. Orbit.
Hear me out.
Done.
Hear me out with this. Hear me out.
Ripley had it right.
Always right. But it's simple as this. If someone's going to argue about the flat Earth, it's like, okay, then prove me wrong. Start walking that way. You don't need food. You'll make it back. So you'll be fine. And just have them start walking. Because they really are going to prove you wrong. They're going to go, yeah, I'm going to start walking. I will get to the right. And then they just walk off into the
They'll
ocean.
loop all the way around.
And be like, see, I told you, the magic brought me back.
Did you see the edge? Show me the edge of the world. That's going to be my counter argument.
The government.
Okay. Show me the edge of the world right now. Take me over the edge. I want to see it.
I wish I could argue. Like I said,
I
I'm
want
not
you to
arguing.
fucking full on. I want you to full on fucking Thor and Loki my ass into a black hole beneath the planet. I want to see this Asgardian makeup of our world. Show me right now. Show me right now, or you are a fucking liar and a con man and a thief of my time. And I will kill you. I will I will shove barbed wire so far up your dick hole.
There's that.
Piss napalm.
I know there was someone who argued about the concept of like the way water flows in a toilet was one argument. I'm not joking. It goes because this is like a thing
No, I couldn't understand what the fuck you said something about a toilet.
It's the concept of the way toilet goes down in water was someone's argument on why the Earth is flat and that it's going straight down. Like I say, I cannot tell you in any context without watching these videos how they actually make this argument. This
water
is me just
goes down in a toilet, therefore the Earth must be flat.
The way it spins down in the toilet is the reason why it's flat. I wish I could tell you more.
No, it's not. That has to do with the hemisphere. If you go down to the southern hemisphere, guess what? It'll spin in the opposite direction.
Hey, don't, like I said, this is just...
What about the Nile? It doesn't flow downriver, it flows upriver. How are you going to explain that one, flat earthers?
Oh, that's where the the drain sinkhole for the planet is.
No,
if you go under the Earth, there's just a bunch of like plumbing utilities and like a guy named Bob just working a wrench.
I mean, don't you believe in Bob? He's just working with the
In
wrench.
Bob we trust. He keeps the planet spinning.
Pretty much.
Sorry, he keeps the disc spinning.
See, and the funny thing is, people have caught, flat earthers in those silly sorts of, things.
Simple logic is the reason why flat Earth doesn't work, and it can't work.
Astrophysics explains why it can't work. If it was a flat Earth and the sun was shining the way it is, we either suffer from perpetual fucking hots or colds.
Yeah.
This planet would be inhospitable, in my mind, to whatever the fuck the galaxy had to throw at us. It has a lot to throw at us.
It does have a lot to throw at us.
What's on the underside of Earth, then? If we're all on one side, what's on the other side?
Muffins. It's just a giant muffin underneath. That's just
They haven't said? They haven't said? You haven't found
Well, like I
anything
said, there's two concepts. There's a concept of that the entire Earth is flat, so it's like just one big disc and we're just all on it. Or it's a coin concept where it's just the Earth is literally just two sides of a coin.
That's bullshit. How do we break orbit then? Wouldn't we just go up and then come back down on the other end and just impact into people? Why do we have to launch in curved lines? Why don't we just launch fucking straight up so it'll teleport magically to the other side of the coin and just nuke them?
It's the same argument that they make about trains. There's arguments for trains, and I ain't going into this because we've already been on this long enough.
Trains?
There was one about the concept of the length of a train and how it works, and it's like, no, it does. I would have to pull up the video in order to actually explain it. That's the thing about it. And I'm not going to do that in the middle of a podcast. It's just to explain this concept. This is something I will show you later.
Oh my.
I just want to find these people and, like, kick them in the dick so hard that they're testicles rupture and burst and are never usable again, so there's no future generations for these people.
Yeah. No, we do not need a
They do
second
not need to
generation
breed.
of this.
They do not need to breed. I mean, they could be the most, like, intellectual, funny motherfuckers on the planet, but
If they believe
that would
the Earth
not
is flat,
save them. That would not save them from the idiocy of a flat Earth theory belief. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's been disproven.
It has
multiple
been.
fucking times.
Like, honestly, this is a prime example of why people should probably get licenses
The
before they
horizon
breed.
doesn't move.
Yeah, because you're on a fucking planet. You can walk around it all you want. You're going to not see the horizon move. It's not going to suddenly shift up and flip sideways and do a cartwheel. No, it's a fucking horizon. It's a planet. Fucking idiots. I blame you for this. I blame you for this, Dimitri.
You can blame me all you want. I'm
I
just
am.
simply just looking through.
No, don't, you put that away before you bring up something else we're going to kill you over.
So the thing about Pac-Man is...
Dude, don't get me started on that Pac-Man shit, because that's going to go into the Mrs. Pac-Man argument and then the whole Anita Sarkeesian thing, and that's going to require me to stab
don't
somebody.
even get that shit started. See,
Don't
that's the point where I'd get pissed, is the Anita Sarkeesian bullshit.
Fucking be gone, thought!
I was like, make horrible Anita Sarkeesian comment. Princess Fuckface.
Dude.
I love that you're still trying to think of
No,
something.
you brought it up. You brought it up, and I segued into it, and now it's the thing we're talking about. Did you hear this shit about fucking her channel shit, and how way back when she started doing this crap, she was like, oh, these games objectify women, blah, blah, blah. She played Hitman Absolution. She went to the strip club, and she started murdering hookers left and right of her own will.
Oh yeah, no. That's what
this is how you play the game. No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
It's not. You don't.
That-
You obviously
do
don't know
that.
No,
shit.
No, if
You're
you
just
want,
doing
it's
that
actually,
because you can.
That was also proven false because she took that gameplay from someone else. Well, no, not that one. It's several other games because it's proven that if you look at it, it's not just the way she plays. It's several videos that even people come out and said, "Yeah, this is my video. This is my video of my gameplay when I played it." And she would just take it because all the and I think another point this guy I used to watch brought up is, okay, she got all this money to apparently go to her women's versus trophy video games. But you never saw the quality of production go up and more detail. It stayed the same even with all the millions of dollars she brought in from that controversy of her being bullied. And I don't agree with the bullying and anything, but it's like she used that to loop in, so she got millions of dollars from that Kickstarter for her thing, yet nothing improves. And the amount of games that she talked about dropped off.
I'm pretty sure it was just a straight up con. Because if she was stealing footage from people, why change something that works when you can just make money off of it that way?
I don't know.
Some people are assholes that way, and I just honestly, like, there's this guy Boogie. He had a confrontation with her because he shared a panel. If you find
Yeah, because I remember the
go
video.
look for the H3 podcast about them with Boogie on that Arnita Sarkeesian thing when you get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, surprisingly, Boogie says she seems genuine in her desire to, like, do good. I doubt it, personally, because this woman is a fucking monster in my eyes.
Oh, yeah. No, there's...
She's not trying to, like, fix the problem. She's trying to demonize. She's not trying to promote an equality situation. She's trying to, like, demonize
She's
men.
pretty much saying, men bad, women victims, let's, you know, do the same to men and see how they like it, and then leave it at that. Have that be the new status quo.
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid.
It really is. And the thing is, you know, you can have the most charismatic, genuine-looking people, and they can still be, like, the worst people ever. Take a look at Susie Orman. I mean, really.
I have no idea
Yeah, that is.
She's like this one financial guru who's apparently conned people out of millions. Because, you know, finance gurus are...
They're con men.
They are.
In and of themselves, they're con men.
They really are.
Anybody who calls himself a guru is probably a con man.
Yeah. Guru equals... is just...
It's just a more...
code for con.
It's a way to lure people in. Like, oh, they must know what they're talking about.
Yeah, no.
Like, the only time I hear, like, I've ever called anybody gurus, it's when I'm referring to, like, Sam as a fighting game guru, because he knows his shit. he's knowledgeable in that. So he knows what he's talking about when he wants people to learn how to play games.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Or he wants to show you. And his way of showing you is basically, I'm going to spam this until you figure out how to get out of it.
See,
How do you like them Hadoukens? You got to figure out how to get past that, don't you? This is going to be a short match if you don't figure it out. Stop doing it! Figure it out!
Oh, so it's like the For Honor concept when they actually introduced that to the training mode.
It's basically, he'll keep doing it until you figure it out, and then he'll change to something else, and then you have to figure that out. And you basically repeat these motions until you get muscle memory, and you can read it. And that's all part of fighting games is the read. Because it's not just, having the muscle memory to do your own combos, it's learning how to read your opponent, knowing what they can do, and working around it.
So his style is throwing you in the deep end and hoping you don't die.
Not especially. He'll show you some basics. He'll give you some ideas of what you can do if he sees you doing something. But see what you're doing there? That's a bad idea because it's unsafe on blocks. I got this, blah, blah, blah. And he'll go on in detail about it, and then he'll show you what you could do. And he'll basically, are you ready to practice? And yeah, sure, why not? I feel good about this. I don't feel good about this anymore, Sam. Well, figure it out. Come on, buddy.
Oh, I never knew that video actually existed. Now I kind of want to watch it just because I know I'm going down this rabbit hole and I shouldn't be going down this rabbit hole.
You really shouldn't have gone down this rabbit hole.
And shit, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh, you fool.
Because it's stuff like she rants against Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
For what?
Because the way they put Zelda in it, it's like, oh, because, she had to wait for a man in order to say, she held up Ganon while you were asleep. I think that earns her credibility to go, yeah, you're going to finish this shit off. I've had to do this fucking work for a
First of all, it's a team effort on their parts to beat Ganon. And 2, she's been holding him at bay for 100 years.
That's what I mean. It's like, you've been out your character's been out cold for 100 years.
Not even just cold. Your character's been dead for 100 years. You've been reviving over that time. Spoiler alert, by the way. In case you didn't figure that out.
Even so, it's that's 100 years of her having to go, I have to hold off Ganon by myself. I think
You're telling me she's not got a strong sense of will that she can hold this motherfucker off for 1,000 years, the being of Calamity himself? What the fuck? She's not even portrayed as oh, I'm the sexy, incompetent princess. No, she's educated. She's well-read. She's smart as fuck. She's a researcher. She has the power to hold Calamity Ganon at bay. Basically, a walking apocalypse. You're telling me this bitch needs a man? If she had Link's power, she wouldn't need to fucking do it, but she only has her power.
Yeah.
She's got one part
Plus, she can cross-dress every now and again to be chic.
Yeah. But that's only in the other ones.
True.
But the thing is that she's got she's one of 3 parts for the Triforce, and then you need the 4 Saint Beasts to fucking wombo combo Ganon. It's not just one piece of a puzzle. It's not just one piece rules at all, and that's Link, and he's got the penis, because he's the man, and he has the power to...
I slightly agree with her on that one.
What?
It was No, this is the one I can agree on, because there's a reason why people bitch and complain about Assassin's Creed Unity. Was the fact of that you can only play a male assassin that entire game. And normally I wasn't bitching or anything like that. What it was the Ubisoft's argument for a reason why, which was, it's hard to animate women in the game. And it's that's retarded. That's not a good defense.
That's
You're
retarded.
A giant game company. You
hire someone on for that shit. Or you learn that shit.
But this was back when Unity first came out. That was the issue.
See, if they were a smaller company and this was their first game, I could kind of understand.
Exactly.
They've been making how many games before this one?
Let's see. Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3, 4, Rogue. So, 7 games? Not including the PSP game, where you play as a female assassin in New Orleans.
So they had no excuse.
Yeah.
They wanted to be lazy.
That was the thing about it, because after that one, when Assassin's Creed Syndicate came out, hey, you can play both male and female. It's that argument. Look, I understand on some levels of we already made the game, we can't really go back, but it's It's not like you can't patch it in later. Nobody's gonna bitch or care.
This has become a giant facepalm episode of podcast.
Just a little bit.
It's called the Facepalm now.
Why?
The face podcast.
Why are these the things we talk about today? Where's Chris so he can cringe?
Oh, that's right. He's off at a birthday party in the sun, apparently.
Fuck him. He can melt. He's a vampire, right? I mean, he can't stand sunlight. That's what it was, right?
Yeah, I think that's what we went with. That's the legend of Chris, is that he's just a vampire. He exists in the ether.
Sorry, I had to yawn.
No, it's fine. But it's just... It's brain hemorrhaging.
Like, I can't understand half the shit I hear and see about in the news these days, but when I hear shit like, Flat Earth is a thing! Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Women are objectified in video games! Half right.
They're not wrong.
Half right. But the ones you're using as examples, shitty examples. And you're twisting
the example. It's more of you're taking...
twisting facts to suit theories instead of theories to suit facts. That's what you should be doing. Theories to suit facts. That's what you do. You don't fucking go, oh, he must be the killer. Why? Because he's a man! And he's cis and he's white. And he has a penis. Who is the victim? A woman!
Woman!
What about that lady over there with the bloodstains and the knife screaming she did it? No, couldn't be her. She's a victim. She's a victim. What makes you say this? I got all the facts.
Where?
And I say he did it because I say so. That's kind of like where this is all going, really, in my mind. It's like, oh, they're the guilty party. Why? Because I don't need a reason. Look at this poorly given example right here that I have.
It's the sex controversies in Hollywood. It is, because, okay, here's the thing about it. It's one of those things of, it's, everyone instantly is guilty instead of being instead of being innocent until proven guilty. Everyone is just bashed. It's like, for some of those, yes, no, there's legitimacy to it. But it's like, the recent one of my coworkers watched the show The Ranch on Netflix. One of the guys on there, one of his exes, one of his 3 exes, came out and said, oh yeah, he sexually assaulted me, da-da-da-da. Every other ex that he's had has gone, no, he was a nice guy. He's never done anything wrong to me. His wife is like, yeah, he's a nice guy. He's never forced himself on me. He has wife and kids. Why would he want to do this? And it's like, it's someone who is jealous, who's like, well, everyone's going to instantly demonize him and go, yeah, he did this. And it's just going to kill his career, and I can do that because I'm petty. On some levels, yes, I do fully agree with these things coming out, because it's like, some of the stuff needs to happen. People need to know about this. But everyone's using it as a crutch to go like, well, this person's doing better than me. Oh, he assaulted me. And it's like, well, actually, there's no evidence to prove that. Well, his career's already dead.
Yeah, it's fucking everybody.
It's a really hard balance to kind of find, because on the one hand, a wrongful accusation could totally destroy someone's career, but at the same time, if we keep casting all these accusations off as fake, then there are legitimate victims who, pretty much aren't being heard. It's kind of a broken system when you think about it.
Well, that also brings to mind something I saw way back. It's Mattress Girl. A college student who had sex with a guy, and then she turned around and claimed he raped her. Because she either didn't like him later on, or she hated his guts. And she's like, oh, he raped me. And then, as a means of not only attention garnering, but as a means to demonize him, she carries a mattress around with her wherever she fucking went on campus. Yeah. She'll just drag a fucking mattress down the fucking classroom.
Yeah.
And basically, it started spurring a lot of people to basically go, oh yeah, he totally raped me. I had like a few shots at a party, and then Rape Central! Yeah. Basically, and it's caused this whole spurning thing of just like, women will cry rape at the first sign of any kind of sexual conduct from a man.
Oh yeah, no, college. That has happened, that does happen. But
it still happens.
I'm sure it still happens, but then there's plenty of others who, kind of say that something legitimately happened.
It's like the one college guy from a few months back, where it was a guy who fully raped the girl and everything, But his dad was like, oh no, he's just disturbed, it was a night of hot passion, da-da-da. It's like, she was knocked out, and it wasn't for the fact that that two bikers happened to ride by and see him with her unconscious body. He would have gotten away with way worse at that point. But the thing about it is, the ultimate argument is, the rule is innocent until proven guilty. But the thing about it is, everyone goes, guilty until proven innocent.
That started changing around 9/11, when everything started going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
And people started becoming paranoid as fuck, so then it switched to guilty till proven innocent.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be like that. Like, I'm certainly not defending people who wrongfully accuse other people of things, but you also can't totally defend people who, actually do rape.
Yeah, you can't, but the problem is that with all people crying out for, like, attention, or they're just, like, saying this to not get in trouble, or they want to fucking be petty and demonize somebody else, it draws attention away from real victims and makes problems.
Oh, it does.
Which is why
absolutely.
I fucking hate SJWs.
Yeah.
They're attention whores who don't fix a damn thing other than to get their 15 minutes of fame. This one guy was talking about equality or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of... And this is, like, in a hotel lobby, in a big, conference place.
I think I know what you're
and
talking about.
And a bunch of SJWs start screaming shit and trying to unplug mics and equipment and have to get escorted out by security.
Yeah, that's happened.
Because they wanted attention. They wanted fucking attention.
Radicals of any sort are just terrible.
I remember the other one. There was another one that happened a few years ago where it was an equality. It was an equality thing. It was an actual meeting for, like, talk about both male and female equality. And they're actually having a talk on this campus. And outside the campus is a bunch of SJW feminazis, like, arguing, screaming at them, chanting and all that other stuff. And all of a sudden a fire alarm is pulled, and, they have to be escorted out. And, you hear all the feminists cheering and all that other stuff, because it's like, oh, male patriarchy. It's like, you do realize this was for equality. It's not for just women only. It's for across the board equal rights. Doesn't matter the gender, doesn't matter the ethnicity, doesn't matter anything. It was just an equal rights meeting. And that's all it was.
That's ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous.
See, that's another problem I have with SJWs. They don't fight for equality. They fight under the guise of equality. But what they really want...
More equal than others.
Yeah, that's what they want.
We're more equal than you are.
Yeah, they want to be put on a fucking pedestal. That's what people want. They want to be put on a fucking pedestal. And it's fucking stupid.
It is.
Like,
I agree.
Well, what about, white people had their time on the pedestal?
That wasn't a pedestal. That was an overseer stand platform. That's not really a good basis to want to try and compare to.
Yeah.
You want equal, like Martin Luther King.
Equal.
King fought for equal. Malcolm X fought for equal.
They
Gandhi
went about it in
fought
different
for
ways.
semi-equal. I mean, he fought for his people, but he hated black people. He
Really?
hated black people hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
It's
one of those...
He's like, when people
like,
compared, like, his people and black people, you're like, no. Do not compare us.
Oh, no.
Really?
Oh, yeah, there was still...
I never knew that.
Dude, it's like Mother Teresa. She was a fucking sadist.
Really?
She wanted people to suffer because it brought them closer to God.
Well, admittedly, that's kind of Catholicism.
No. She didn't do it out of, like, Catholicism belief. She did it out of, you will suffer to feel closer to God. She didn't treat people. She didn't do jack for shit. She would actually intentionally put people through pain and suffering so they could... She was a fucking monster. I will say that now.
Didn't know
Do not believe everything you hear about the saints, because they fucking weird.
You've literally just destroyed like an integral part of what I've been taught in Catholic school. Thanks, Mike.
Welcome. Penn and Teller's bullshit. Let's see. I think it's in one of these. So let's see.
My world has kind of
yoga, fountain of youth, exercise versus genetics, Bible, fact or fiction. That's fun. I have seasons of this shit. These guys.
You okay?
I have destroyed Trina's world. I feel a little bad, but at the same time,
No, I mean...
Yes. Talking to the dead, alternative medicine, alien abductions. These are the world.
Okay, see, alternative medicine, I agree with. That is absolute bullshit.
Here's the thing about it.
Fuck
Feng Shui and bottled water.
Of course. No, here's the thing about it.
Creationism.
Always. The thing about it is like this. everyone has done monstrous things. Chris likes things that Hitler has done. Hitler's still a monster. As long as
like Hitler's still a monster, but goddamn, did he have a good speaking like air about him?
And admittedly, the Nazis did figure out a lot of today's medical, things. We wouldn't know how
long
knowledge.
a fetus can last outside of a pregnant mother's body without Nazis torturing Jews. We wouldn't know how high up you can go in the air and survive in the cold and lack of oxygen if Nazis hadn't tortured Jews and gypsies.
Yeah.
And it's so sad.
We would not know half the shit we know today about medicine, rockets, and all this other shit without Nazis. They brought about the modern age of medicine and technology.
Yeah, that
as sadistic and evil as they fucking were in some regards to some of their leadership, like Goebbels.
Actually, that's the thing about it. It's the interesting thing is that the entire thing of eradicating the Nazis was not the original plan of the Nazis, actually, at all. It was...
Okay, you just said eradicating the
Nazis.
Was not the original
okay, no,
I think
eradicating
everyone
the
knows
Jews.
that he meant Jews, but
Eradicating the Jews
I
was not the
but
original
like,
Nazi
I
plan.
had to stop because I heard that. I'm like, wait a minute. What? The Nazis
what it
wanted to
is
exterminate the Nazis?
No, here's what happened. The thing about it was...
Circumcision.
Yep.
Oh, I know that's bullshit.
With Hitler, it
Family
was...
values.
Hitler hated the concept of actually... Like, he did not like Jews, but when he ran to become chancellor, he actually made an emphatic rule of no anti-Semite talks, none of that. We're not doing any of that. Goebbels, because of his beliefs, was so emphatic about, like, oh, we gotta get rid of the Jews, things like that. Every time they would go to, like, dinner parties or meetings with political figures, he would try to bring it up, and Hitler would go, no, shut up.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
What happened was, during one of the last big meeting areas, it's like the last one right before Hitler won the chancellery, Goebbels had one shot left. Because it's like, if this didn't happen, it was not going to happen at all. There was not going to be anything against the Jews. At the most, it would be kicked out of Germany. But that's it.
But what he wanted some dead!
Yes, that's the thing about it. He went on stage, and it's like, okay, this is the last, this is like, they're just talking, it's like, you're going to have a talk, you're going to excite the people, but no anti-Semite shit. Hitler flat out said, none of that. Goebbels goes up there and goes, fuck it, and he starts bringing people inside it, and he starts talking about the Jews. And that's where the whole Germany anti-Semitism comes from.
I'm surprised Hitler didn't kill his ass for that.
Because he won over the crowd, and that's the thing about it. Goebbels won over the crowd, which winning over the crowd means Hitler won chancellery. It's also the reason why, when they went to war with Britain, their thing was, if they had, was to beat Britain in submission, make a deal with them that they would get Madagascar, was the main deal was that they wanted, and they were going to send all the Jews by boat to Madagascar and just leave them there. That was their entire plan. Original game plan.
Jiminy Christmas.
But when they failed the British attack...
Did you just say Germany Christmas?
I said Jiminy Christmas.
Okay.
That is my swap.
I heard
because I am Catholic and there are certain things that I just cannot bring myself to say.
But,
no, I heard Germany Christmas. I'm like, what the fuck is Germany Christmas? Oh, is that them taking the Jews to Madagascar?
It's Germany Christmas. But when that failed through, it was...
Chris is missing out on World War II Nazi killing.
Oh, yeah.
Chris
but what
loves
happened
this
was,
shit, so that's weird.
So when that failed through with the British, it was like, okay, we just need to get rid of them. Hitler's entire thing was just, get rid of them. Not kill them, he just said, get rid of them. And that was his only line. It's that through loopholes, Goebbels, Goering, and all of them were like, oh, we can just eradicate the Jews.
Dr. Mengele.
Dr. Mengele was brought on later. He was brought on like several years later. But all the others were like, oh, Hitler just wants to get rid of the Jews. Oh, we can kill them.
This has been your World War II Nazi killing Jews fact number, 3, 4?
4,000.
We'll go 3 because this is the 3rd episode. So this is your World War II Nazi fact number 3. Please enjoy it, and thank you very much. Have a nice day. Anyway, I found it right here. It's basically an episode titled Holier Than Thou. So, here you go. Destroy your childhood.
You mean my entire religious belief system?
well,
Hey,
here's
it covers Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi, and the Dalai Lama.
Here's the thing about it. And I'm going to make it flat out like this.
Fucking Gandhi straight up called black people the N-word in his language constantly.
I can believe it. Here's the thing about it. It doesn't just... Here's my thing. Even if this does tarnish their belief, as long as you have as long as you believe in the positives, if you know about the negatives, it's better to have that there than to be blindly faithful.
No,
it's
that's
having
true. That's
both
true.
sides of the
You're
fence.
talking to a Catholic here.
Hey, I've listened to what he's said.
No, because we've actually had conversations about God, religion, all that other stuff with her, and my always argument is, as long as you're willing to see both sides of the fence, if you're firmly believe and you're a Catholic and you believe in everything Catholicism pitches, that's fine.
People can still have faith in something, even if they know the dark and negatives of it.
Exactly.
It's like Star Wars, the Force. People know that there's a bad side. They've seen the bad side in action, but they still believe in Jedi. They're like, Jedi rule! So,
Okay,
you know,
fair
it's
Jedi cause terrible shit.
it's better to know a full perspective than just see what you want to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree. The
I mean,
Mother
shit.
Teresa thing was just shocking to me.
Let's go back to World War II and nonsense and everything. Chris likes that because of the political intrigue and everything that all happened right before World War II and during World War II. That's what has him hooked. It's the political intrigue. It's the story being told.
Hell,
This
that's
is
what
true.
He knows the Nazis are bad people and what they did, but he sees some positives out of it still because of like the political intrigue. Like, what did he do? How did he do this? What's that? What's that?
Yeah.
It's not like Chris is going to start like walking around with swastikas on like his body and wielding the
one of
flag
those
and be like,
skinhead
"Kill the
kids."
Jews! Kill the Jews!" on
That's
your
actually the
patio.
saddest thing.
It's not going to happen.
It's one of the funniest things. The saddest thing is actually about the story of skinheads. Skinheads were nothing but punk rock kids from Britain who they were part of the generation that didn't know what to do, so they loved rock music, things like that. It was German survivors that corrupted them into the skinheads that we know now. They did not start that way. They started as just regular, just guys who just go to mosh pits.
Rebellious teenagers.
Yeah, it was just that the
Aw.
German recruiters, Nazi recruiters, saw them as a target and then started corrupting them to what they are now.
Damn.
Goddamn Nazis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, for all the bad Nazis have done, when you look at what we stole from them, you know, it's like, oh, we stole the good things they did.
It's
and
like,
we made a better use of it.
It's like you and I had that argument about the 7 deadly sins and the rapture. And the reason why I always argue against the rapture. I think the rapture is
Nobody's going up.
No, it's not that. My
Well-
argument is, because I've talked to people before who said, like, they believe in the rapture. I know several people who believe in it. And my argument is, isn't the thing about it would be that God would want you to suffer in your belief? Because it's like, if you're thinking that just because I believe in Him, I'm going to get an auto-free ticket to heaven, wouldn't it be more up to truly prove your faith if you suffer through all of this and still believe in Him? That's the ultimate act of faith.
See,
It's that
Pretty much the whole book of Job thing.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing just dropped. You lost your money, you've lost all this stuff, you're in this apocalyptic wasteland, but you still believe in God. That to me is more of an argument of faith than anything else. Because it's just like, oh, because I believed in Him now when everything's all good, and, you know, no, even with all the shit hitting fan now, it can be so much worse. It's like, oh, well, I still believe in Him. That's a free ticket to heaven. It's like, no, that's not a fair ticket. That's just, oh, well, I converted in prison. Does that mean I get a free ticket? Does it mean that, like, oh, I've served Him all my life, but I'm stealing money from people and I'm using it to get myself a house? Like, that's.
Oh, televangelist.
Televangelists.
There we go.
There we are.
Does that mean they get a free ticket to heaven? Because technically, they still believe
We're
in
doing
God.
it for the word of God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But that's the thing about it. It's
And
like,
Jesus will save me money. Oh, yes, sir.
and that's my thing. It's like, what about that? It's like, does that mean they get a free ticket to heaven just because it's like, yeah, they believed in me before the apocalypse happened. Whereas, shit hits the fan. I got nothing. That person on the street who actually believes in God, that has nothing to their name, that guy has more right to get into heaven than anyone else, because he fucking suffering.
See, that's the whole problem with the whole getting to heaven bullshit and the rapture and all that other crap. It's like, you hear like, oh, God, fire and brimstone. God's all loving and all kind. God's this, God's that, God's the other. We don't fucking know God.
That's why religion...
Motherfucker could have a mood swing one day and just be like, you know what, it's too early for this shit. Let's start over.
Well, that was definitely the
What?
First Testament? Not First Testament.
No.
Old Testament.
Old
There we are.
Testament.
That is Old Testament God right there.
Like it's...
He was definitely a little
There
moodier.
is some all-knowing invisible man in the sky. I'd like to think that he doesn't really give a shit about us.
Every now and again, that I kind
Like,
of think that too. Like all the because one time I decided to be stupid and look up everything that's considered a mortal sin on Wikipedia. Please don't do that, people. Literally
Dude,
everything is a sin.
We'll be
like
here
literally
all fucking week. That's why
everything
no one
is a sin.
in the rapture, no one would go to heaven because everyone has committed a sin in way,
Of some
shape,
sort.
or form in their life.
No, everything is a sin, and 95% of everything is a mortal sin.
But it's much like the 7 deadly sins. The rapture is not in the Bible. It's not in the Bible at all. Both that and the 7 deadly sins are not in the Bible in any way, shape, or form. The fact is that they were brought up centuries later, when it was like centuries later, around right as we were just like, as the colonists were coming to America, that's the only time the rapture started getting brought up more often. 7 deadly sins wasn't even sins. It actually started as 8 temptations of man from this Christian monk who went to Rome, saw the debauchery, the disgusting things, and he said there are 8 temptations of man that will drive you off the path.
Lead you to sin.
Well, not even lead you to sin. It will just lead you down a darker path.
Yeah, the first temptation in Rome, big bowl of mac and cheese.
It's always big bowl of mac and cheese.
Yeah. Mac and cheese is sinful. I will say that right now.
Have you seen the servings they will give you of mac and cheese in fucking Italy?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yum.
Oh, you want a bowl? There you go. Big family-sized serving bowl. That's for you.
That's me. Have fun. But,
dude, it's like family-sized servings everywhere you go there.
But,
from what I hear.
it's...
I need to go. I need to find out.
I can't remember the Pope.
I need to gorge myself to death. I need to... I need to indulge in the sin of gluttony.
Sweetheart, didn't you want to go to Europe as our honeymoon?
Yeah, I know.
Italy's probably on the list then.
But what happened was, one of the popes, centuries later, saw the 8 temptations of man and turned those into 7 deadly sins, combining 2 of them into sloth.
Wasn't it depression and something else?
It was depression. It was the equivalent of depression and laziness was combined into sloth. Wrath was still there, envy was still there, but they were just under different names. And it's the fact of, because I have a DVD set, I think I gave it to your parents, which your mom probably has never watched.
Probably not.
And it's a History Channel, The 7 Deadly Sins, which it's
thing.
really good, where it explains each sin in detail, both historical context and context of how it works now.
I don't think it would have historical context for what I'm thinking of, but Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
Dante's Inferno was actually...
The book covers that shit quite well.
Yep.
But that's the problem. Paradiso sucks. It's so boring.
No one remembers
Dude,
Paradiso.
Tyler will go into detail about this shit a lot.
Oh,
You
yeah.
ask him, because he read them, and he had to put down Paradiso. If I recall correctly, because it was just that boring. Heaven was boring. It was more interesting to traipse through hell than it is to take a walk through heaven.
Because it was detailed, which, again, that's...
No, that's the problem. It was detailed, but the thing is that hell was way more interesting.
Makes sense.
So...
That probably says a lot to us as a species.
But yeah.
Like, the concept of hell is a lot more interesting than the concept of
Actually,
heaven.
hell used to be just blank. It used to be... The only thing they ever said was just, it's darkness, pain, and you can smell embers. Those are the 3 things that were technically... that everyone knew of hell until Dante's Inferno came around, and then that's when we started getting the more detailed depictions of what hell is like.
See, from what I recall, descriptions of hell, and like someone I think had drawn from the Bible on like a description of hell, it wasn't all fire and brimstone. There was a lake of fire.
Yeah.
But everything else was like regular, like you'd see on Earth. Hills, mountains, trees. At least
Probably
that's
dead
what I recall.
trees.
No, everything was green, vibrant.
Really?
It was hell. So there was monsters aplenty. You didn't need a fucking horrible landscape to fuck you any harder than you did the other things that were there. But Dante's Inferno kind of rewrote the depiction of hell for most people and turned it into the slaughter fuck fest we know now.
And that has become pretty much the trademark of hell. Like, that's not really what hell is, it just is.
See, if I ever wrote a book, I would try and change hell. Like, that's another reason why I dislike hell in Christianity, but I don't much care for Hades in Greek mythology. Hades is got... I also like Hades for another reason, but it's, like, really hard to get to the good spot. See, because with Hades, it's the underworld.
Yeah.
That is your afterlife.
Oh, yeah, no.
Good or bad, that is your afterlife. You get in... You walk between the legs of Cerberus, and you stand before the 3 judges. If you did super bad, and I'm not talking about the movie, you went to the fucking goddamn horrible places. Like, you go to the places where you'd be pushing the boulder up the hill.
Tartarus.
No. Tartarus is something else entirely. Tartarus is below Hades. Tartarus isn't even just a place. It's also a thing, a person, a being.
Okay.
It's a primordial entity. So you're basically getting thrown into the stomach of fucking Tartarus.
Okay.
Because he's incarnate.
So pretty much you have like a personalized, sort of unpleasant task that you have to do for the rest of eternity. Isn't that kind of what?
Yeah, that's
hell is?
That's one of the areas of Hades. That's one thing. Most people will go to the fields and just kind of mill about for the rest of eternity.
I can think of worse things to do for the rest of eternity.
And then the creme de la creme, Elysium.
That's
where I would want to go if Greek mythology was the real mythology of the world. I'd want to go to Elysium, but that requires you to be a hero. If you are a hero, you can be reborn. If you are a hero thrice, you go to the Isle of the Blessed, which is in the middle of Elysium. It's like a little island in a lake, and you would live there for all eternity.
Don't they pretty much just have, like, ambrosia and bitches, like...
Pretty much. It's nonstop Miami party, millionaire style. That's what the Isle of the Blessed is. It's the kind of shit where, like, okay, Elysium is heaven. This is fucking tip-top.
Super heaven.
This is super heaven. You know, Elysium is Miami beachfront property, sure, but Elysium's Isle of the Blessed is like...
Is like the penthouse...
It's like the fucking Iron Man
parties.
penthouse, beautiful beach view, you got all the amenities, Iron Man suit to battle with your buddy, and blah. You know, no helicopters to sink it into the ocean, though, but... Yeah. Like, if I was to believe in any religion, it would be Greek mythology, because there's a lot of moral tales there that work better for a lot of things. And it'd be because I would strive to do good, so I could be going to Elysium. So I
and
could
hope
come
for that
back
penthouse.
and keep doing that and keep going for the penthouse suite. Roll hard. Gamble good.
You know? That doesn't sound too bad. I can't deny that. I hope they have something like that in Catholic heaven.
It's one of the reasons why those Percy Jackson books always stuck with me, because like I love Greek mythology, so it's just like, yes!
Admittedly, I've always kind of appreciated Greek mythology too.
And Rick Riordan is also a very good writer. He's not just done Greek, he's also done Egyptian, and he started on the Norse mythologies. I've yet to read the other two.
Okay.
I've read all 2 series of the Percy Jackson ones.
Okay.
And I know they're kids' books, but a lot of people read Harry Potter as grown adults.
Oh, I still read Harry Potter.
Fuck it.
Speaking of which, I stopped reading Chamber of Secrets recently.
This is for kids.
Oh, please.
Doesn't stop us grown-ass men.
Doesn't stop me from wanting a fucking Horcrux.
Hey.
No!
Here's another example of for kids being for adults. Friendship is magic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, first off, let's get something straight. With Harry Potter, the concept is very simple. I will make a fucking Horcrux and I will turn it into the goddamn Statue of Liberty. Do it! Kill me! I'll keep coming back!
Can I make the planet a Horcrux?
Oh my god.
In theory, the thing about it, I think it's just like
brilliant,
there's
actually.
a size rule. I think there's a size rule. They never state. They've never stated if there's a
Because she
size
actually
rule.
wrote how to make
that up. I want to know.
No, there's no rules. Because the thing
Yeah,
about it was...
because
no,
she
here's why.
actually wrote it.
The story was, originally when the book of,
Half-Blood Prince?
not Half-Blood Prince, it's the,
Seventh one?
No, Evil Book.
Oh, the Book of Dark Spells or
Yes,
something
the
like
Book
that?
of the Dark Arts was coming out as it's a physical book you can actually find. In the book, they originally were going to plan was that, J.K. Rowling had wrote out the details on how you make a Horcrux. In full detail on how to do it. It was so vile that the editor nearly threw up and said, "You can't put this in the book."
We are burning that. That is
The
not
editor
allowed.
is a weak man.
But it's that thing about it, it's like...
Well, I think they had a few editors.
Did they ever release what those details were?
No. Only person who knows is J.K. Rowling. The only thing that you know is that it involves killing someone, and that's it. That's the only thing we know for sure. And that's also both in the books and also in the movies, that it's like you have to kill someone to start, but no one knows what else goes into it.
I don't
Also, which is why people call bullshit on Harry being the accidental 8th Horcrux.
Yeah, because technically he killed his parents, but it's the ritual.
Yeah, like how do you accidentally make a Horcrux? That's something that a lot of people...
That lightning bolt was a charm, I thought, to protect him.
No, it was It was the part of the Horcrux that made it. That made the scar.
Now, Harry's mother dying was definitely kind of that weird accidental spell that she put on him. That way it makes it so
no,
that...
it wasn't accidental. She did that shit on purpose.
Oh, well,
yeah, because protection of love. But it's one of those things of, it's one of the weird areas of Harry Potter, which is like, we don't know the rules of a Horcrux on what limits it. We've seen what happens if you use it too many times.
You turn into a snake man.
Somewhat
Weird-ass
that your
looking
soul
snake
becomes
man.
corrupted and will be
So
destroyed.
much.
Like, when you die, if all your Horcruxes are destroyed and you die, you turn to nothing. You will just fade.
Well, that's according to the movies. In the book, he just, fell over into a dead lump.
Yeah, but
and they just dragged his ass out of the Great Hall while everyone else could kind of hang out with
the argument is still that their soul's so corrupted, it's destroyed, which is why you're not supposed to do it. It's that what lures you in is that apparently if you do a Horcrux, though, it's when you do it once, it's like doing cocaine for the first time. It's that perfect high, that you want to try and do again, and that's what drives people to go down it further. Now, you can do it once, and you'll just keep coming back, because your soul is tethered to Earth, so something will always find a way to reincarnate you. So that's my thing of like, since there is no limit, can you just turn it into anything? Like you said, the Earth, can you turn it into the Statue of Liberty? It's like, okay, I turned Big Ben into my Horcrux. You have to destroy Big Ben.
Have you seen some movies these days?
Yeah.
You would get killed by the Muggles going apeshit on each other. Not good, my friend.
Yeah. Now, another thing that Dimitri brought up was, what if it's just a random piece of trash or a random pebble or like a single grain of sand
in the
on
desert.
an endless beach or desert? Like, have fun trying to kill that piece of sand in this sea of sand.
We also made the argument on the concept of whether or not a phoenix counts because it can be reborn. Does your soul still tether to it when it dies? Because it's like, does it count? Because it's not like a phoenix is permanently dead. It can come back.
That's why if I was to do it, I'd have a 3-point system. 3 Horcruxes. That's it. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And I'd basically put that shit away. Like, you played Final Fantasy 15, right?
I played Final 15, yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the Deep Dark Dungeon?
Yeah. Fucking jackass.
I would build one.
I don't know. I'd make it just the most random piece of crap that no one would ever think, that's hiding in plain sight, that, they'd have to spend their lifetime trying to find to even think about destroying it. Random pebble, toss it in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Oh, but it's like saying, I would do horrible shit because it's just
Well,
me.
actually, no, not in the middle of the ocean, because salt water is corrosive, so it would die eventually. But you know what I mean.
You can put a spell on the damn thing.
Well, true.
It's not saying, like, okay, I make this into a Horcrux. Put a protection spell. Middle of the ocean, it's in the Mariana Trench. Go find it! It's got a spell on it. It's gonna be down there forever. No one's going down there deep enough to fucking find it.
Yeah.
There you go. It's like a basilisk. It's like the reason why the Ministry of Magic literally checks chickens every fucking day. Because that shit.
Yeah.
Because if you take a snake egg and you put it under a hen, it turns into a basilisk. So they literally have a side of the Ministry of Magic that literally goes out and checks eggs every day because people will try and do that. Because a basilisk, because they're such a rare species, is worth a fucking fortune. Their venom alone will make you a fucking billionaire. Is their venom alone. Like, just that much. Like, very little.
Hogwarts still has the basilisk just kind of in their basement.
They have a body. They have the body.
Well, yeah, but they actually use the fangs to kill the rest of the Horcruxes. So there's still a potent amount of venom in each basilisk fang.
Oh, yeah. The book was one.
The book was a Horcrux.
Which Harry killed.
was one.
Yep. Which Neville killed, ironically.
Yes, he did.
This is spoilers for anyone.
Spoiler alert!
Harry Potter at all, or seen the movies.
Lived in a cave and not watched or read
if you haven't kept up with the times, like a doof.
The ring. I remember that. There was a crown.
One ring.
Technically, that's a diadem, but yes.
Yeah, but still. fuck, what are the other ones?
A fancy metal hat with a rock in it, but
Was there like 6 of them or something?
He had
There were
7. Cause I think Harry counts as the 8th. Is
Oh, okay, yeah, because you said the 8th. Harry's the 8th one.
the weird
Yeah.
secret 8th one, even
So-
though that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, how do you
Yeah,
accidentally create one?
we'll discuss this after the
another
podcast,
time.
so we don't have to fucking spoil any more of Harry Potter for this.
Oh, please, unless you read the fucking new book / play.
Oh,
I
fuck
never-
that. Fuck that, it doesn't exist. Nope, 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 nope.
Are you
nope.
talking about that Dark Child thing?
Yes. Fuck that book.
What is that?
Okay.
Fuck
Okay,
whoever's
okay.
responsible for it.
You know what?
No.
Save it
We'll
for
save it
after
for-
the podcast.
Okay,
So
I'll
we're
tell
not
about the
ruin
fuck-
this for people,
Okay.
because that's more recent. It's not so... Like, it's not... I don't want the fucking Snape killed Dumbledore thing happening here.
Oh, please, that book's been last year. But anyway,
I know, but it's just
But no,
like,
I understand.
I remember my brother has a buddy, who we call Fizz, up in Canada. And when he was working at a theater and the Harry Potter movie was out, somebody came out and said the dog killed Dumbledore or some shit and tried to ruin the movie for somebody. A lot of people got upset for some reason.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it. Okay, before we end this...
A dog killed Dumbledore.
Yes,
Okay.
because, that's totally
Not-
believable.
Real fast, because I actually have the list here. Slight spoilers if you've never seen Harry Potter, read the movies.
We've already
Fuck it.
spoiler alert.
It's
We're good for here.
Tom Riddle's Diary was the first. There's
Dear
McGonagall-
Diary.
It was The Ring. Salazar Slytherin's Locket.
Those were 2 from Salazar Slytherin, now that I think about
Well,
it.
Marvel's Gauntlet Ring. Salazar Slytherin's Locket. Helga Hufflepuff's Cup. Renoa Ravenclaw's Dynam. Harry Potter by Accident, and Nagi the Snake. Those were all the Horcruxes. There was only 7, not 8.
Huh.
Yeah, Harry was the accidental 7.
But in the book, Riddle kept on saying, what if I wanted to make 7 Horcruxes? And then the guy's like, 7 times, dude? Really?
The only other one that people say is kind of iffy is the Professor from the very first movie. Does he really count as a Horcrux or not? Because technically he housed the soul, but that's the reason why.
No, he's a host.
Yeah.
Even then, he's dead. So
Then
it
yeah,
doesn't matter.
that's only 7.
Weird.
Yeah, he made 6. Harry was the accidental 7.
I guess his own soul was technically his 7th, and then he made Harry as the 7th.
Since you are cutting up parts of your soul, yeah. Every
Okay,
time you do,
okay.
you cut
Like-
a part of your soul.
I just imagine he just leans back, pulls his shirt open, and gets a potato peeler and just goes.
Just sprinkles it on there like some extra seasoning, I'll sprinkle my soul on that.
A little Parmesan Reggiano, rubs his elbow against a cheese
Grater.
It's like,
And that would explain his fucked up look.
Let's go with a little nose, shall we? Great.
Well, that would explain why he doesn't have a fucking nose.
And also, Harry technically is the last bloodline of Salazar Slytherin.
Really? I thought he was a Peverell.
No, he's partially Slytherin.
Oh.
It's actually the thing about it. It's
Parseltongue.
Well, yeah, but I thought that was a Voldemort thing.
partially yes and no.
Voldemort put that in his
It's
ass.
partially Voldemort, but if you actually look
Sounded
through the bloodlines, Harry's dad is related to Salazar Slytherin.
Well, shit.
Because it's one of those weird things. I remember looking at the family tree, and it's Harry is technically related to Voldemort because of their bloodlines.
Because
I got bored one day.
He's
James
his
Potter was a...
third uncle twice
Remove
removed.
kind of thing.
Because James
from
Potter
the
was a
second
pureblood, while
generation or some
Lily
shit.
Potter
Yeah,
was
it was kind of like one of those things where it's you look at this giant family tree, and it's just if you go here from Salazar, you go from this one, and you kind of go down, it's here, and then if you actually look right here, there's where they connect, but then you got to go off
So that
this
means
chute.
Harry and Draco were kind of related too in a weird way?
In some way, yes. It's one of those weird things.
Everybody's a kissing cousin in this movie.
Well, technically, that's the thing with the pureblood line, is that, everyone's trying so hard to be pureblood that they are probably kissing cousins, because, it's that whole royalty shit. Oh, we want to keep the bloodline
look at the
pure.
royal family of England. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, Lord.
We can't eat garlic. Not because we're vampires, but because it'll kill us. Alright. Well, that's going to be it this time, folks. See you later. Stay salty, my friends. And what the fuck is with this flat earth theory?
Bye.